Hi my dear friends, I hope you are all doing well wherever you are. In this video I'm going to show you how to do a video or an animation which is going to be playing at the background or in the background of your menu. So the camera is going to move from side to side and you're going to have that as a playable animation, a looping animation, or it's just going to play in the background of your menu. So we're going to learn how to do that. So the first thing that I do is to open the start widget. Okay, so I'm gonna add a button here so that the client could just click on it and they would get this animation of the camera moving from side to side and showing the scene to them. Okay, so we can have that, or we can just have the camera movement playable in a looping animation in the background without any buttons. Okay, we can have that too, but I'm going to show you the button version. So in order to start the process of that, I'm going to add a button here from the palette to the canvas. Then I'm going to import an icon that I have downloaded from the net previously, an icon of the play button. Okay, this one. So I have it here inside the content browser. I'm going to rename it into 8586. Then I'm going to start loading this icon here in the normal first, 8586. I'm going to search for it. It's this one. And then I can resize it. Okay, put it here in the center of this pattern. And I can choose the same number, for example, 128 for X and Y, so that it's a square and the size is perfect. So let me just do load the same image in hovered and pressed, 8586. Okay, 8586. All right, and next I can just add the same sound that we had for the previous buttons. Pressed sound, it was 01, I think, the name, so we added the sound also. And finally, of course, we need to change draw as to image for all of the normal hovered and pressed. Okay, now that this button is ready, we can move on to the next phase of our process. So let me recap real quick. So what I want to happen is that when the client opens up the file and then clicks on this button, they get the camera in the scene moving from right to left and back. Okay, so that's what I want to happen. The first thing that I need to do is to just go to the main level and copy that level, make a duplicate out of it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to duplicate this main level, make sure to duplicate the right level. I'm going to call this camera. Okay, it's ready now, camera. I'm going to go inside it. I'm going to save everything first. And as you're seeing, this is an exact copy of our main level with no differences. So let's just start our process. So the first thing that we need to do is just add a camera. Okay, so we need the camera to move from left to right, for example. So we need to add a camera first and then arrange some sequence for that camera to move. So something like this would be fine. Okay, so the camera was moving slowly from side to side. So this is what I want to achieve with my camera inside this scene. All right, so we're gonna change the angle and the camera speed, of course, but this is what I want to have. So I'm testing out different angles for us. So I think this one is not that bad, so we can just have this maybe from this side to the left. That seems good. So I'm gonna add that camera, create camera here, scene a camera actor. Okay, and now we need to start creating our sequence, which I have a workshop on and I have previously taught you how to do that. So right now I'm going to do everything really quickly. We start by adding a sequence. So the first thing that we need to is to choose a name for it. I'm going to call it camera level 1 top, or maybe a simpler name, top level 1. Okay, so this is our timeline for the sequence, and here are two cameras. I need one of them, so I'm going to delete this other one. That was the so I'm going to delete that one. This is my camera, and then I click on track, add to sequence. Okay, I click on this button and now it has been added to my timeline. It's 30 frames per second. Let me check again. It's on seconds. All right, so now I need to create my movement or the sequence. So I want the movement to take place in 10 seconds. Okay, so I drag this to the 10-second mark like so. All right, now I need to add some keyframes for my movement. I'm gonna have it go to the left in 5 seconds and come back to the right or its original place in the next 5 seconds. Okay, so it's gonna be a left and right movement. So first I need to add some keyframes for the 0 second mark, 0 here, and I'm gonna add some keyframes. Go to transform, click on this button here, and then at the 5 second mark I'm going to type it to be exact. I need the camera to be somewhere to the left here maybe. So let me just find the view. This is the view, and I need to find the second stop or the place for my camera when it moves to the left, somewhere here. This is nice, so I'm going to add the keyframe there. And now this is the first 5 seconds of my camera movement. Okay, and the movement is kind of slow in the start, picks up speed and then gets slow again, but I don't want that, so I need to go to the curve editor and then select my graphs. Let me just select all of them and then click on the linear line, this one. Let me just quickly save this. We now have a fixed speed for the whole camera movement. Okay, it moves in one speed. I'm gonna make the duration of the sequence a little bit longer, maybe 30 seconds. Okay, I think 30 seconds would be nicer, so I'm gonna drag this to the 30-second mark. I'm gonna drag the second spot for the camera to the 15-second mark. Okay, and I'm gonna find the 15-second mark here. I can type it here, 15. Okay, and drag this keyframe to the 15-second mark. All right, so it's gonna take 15 seconds for the camera to move from A to B, and then another 15 to move back to A from B. So our final stop should be the same place as the 0.0 keyframe. So I'm gonna copy that and paste it at the 30-second mark. Let me just put in 30, and I'm gonna paste this keyframe here. It's the same keyframe from the original camera placement, or the first camera placement. So it moves to the left and then comes back to its original place. All right, now we can just play it once and see what it looks like. It's gonna take 30 seconds. So the camera moves in a steady manner with a fixed speed to the left, and then it stops at the 15-second mark, somewhere right about now, and then moves back to its original place with the same velocity. Now we can change the kind of the speed somewhere around the 15-second mark to make it more smooth. We go to the curve editor, and if we play with these graphs here, if we make them more curved instead of having them be linear like so, and now when it reaches the point B, it's gonna move slower a little bit, and then again when it starts coming back, it's gonna be a slower movement. We can do that. And now as you're about to watch, when it reaches that part, it's gonna move a little bit slower. So we have that option available, but let's not do that. Let me just put it back to linear. Let's not get lost in the animation. We have a lot of options here. Let me just save. Let's just move on to the next phase of our work here. Okay, so the sequence is ready. We have a level sequence called camera ready. All right, so now we need to tell Unreal when somebody clicks on that button, they should be taken into this level, and this sequence should be played for them, and they don't need to move around. They don't need to have a character inside. They shouldn't have any type of movement or involvement. Just see that sequence. Okay, so that's what we need to achieve right now. So you're here and you're seeing the menu, and you click on this button and you are taken to this level. So let's just do that. We need to go to the button selected and go to events unclicked. All right, so this is our first node, our event node. I'm going to drag and add another node called open level by name, this one. So I add it. Then we need to load the right level, which is camera. The name is camera for that level. Compile, go back. Now everything's ready for a sample test. I need to go back to the menu level, open it up, save everything, and click on play to go to the game mode. Alright, so if I click on this button, I am taken to this level, but we don't have any type of sequence or camera movement yet. And I noticed the problem, our play button has been moved to the left, so it was supposed to be in the center of that pattern. And to fix that problem, we need to make an anchor and lock this play button in that place. We need to lock it in relation to the whole screen. So inside the anchors menu, I think I need to choose the full screen mode. Okay, so let me just do that. Anchor this option, full screen. Let me just play and oh, so the size got distorted a little. That was not a good option. Maybe we need to anchor it to the side, to the right side, maybe the center. Let's try center and see what happens. Oh, again, it's misplaced. So I think the best option would be to just add this play button to the whole menu inside Photoshop, so you would have the image in that exact place and then add the button. But I'm gonna try to find another location for the play button for now so that it doesn't move. So let's just try out a few locations, maybe here, maybe not. Let me just see if I can find another place for it. Maybe here, bottom left. I think here would be a good place for it, so let me just try to see if it works. Go to the play mode, it moved to the right. Let me just try to use the anchor to the left, like so. Play again, and done. Seems nice. I'm gonna click on it. The sound was kind of weird. I think we added the wrong sound file. So let me just make sure, go to pressed sound. Arclep was 01, S01, I think. Yes, this one. So we fixed the sound as well. So I can just compile everything and move on. So when we click this button, we are taken inside this level. We need to tell Unreal that we don't need any character movements. We don't need any players. We just need that camera movement that we just made, the camera sequence. For that, we need to go inside the camera level again, the camera sequence level, this one. So I'm going to double click on it, save everything, go inside, and now we can just pick up the next part of our work. So the camera should move from left to right. We already made a sequence for it, and we need to see the camera's view. So what I need to do next is to just go click on this button and open level blueprint. We are taken inside the event graph. This is our first node, which is called event begin. With this node, we can define what exactly happens when this level is initiated. I'm going to drag this line, add another node called set view target. Let me just type it in, set view target. We need this node. Okay. Let me just disable context sensitive, and we need to select this one, set view target with blend. So make sure to choose this function here, set view target with blend. Okay, we need this node. This one is going to handle a lot of our work for us. So next we need to add another one, and we need to search it to find it and add it to the target. We need to add get player controller. So this one, make sure that the color is green. So we need to add the return value of this to our target so that the player cannot control the game or level and cannot move. So next we need to find the view target, and for that I'm going to do something. I'm going to go back inside the level, and I'm gonna select my camera first, this camera, okay, and then with context sensitive on, make sure that context sensitive is on. I'm gonna select create a reference to camera anchor 2, which is that camera. So I'm gonna click on this, and we get this node, and I'm gonna link it to new view target. All right, now we need to continue our work here. So let me just make these more organized. Let me just put this to the left. Okay, so we need some more nodes here. I'm gonna have to drag the output of this node, set view target, and search for create level sequence player. Okay, so this node with context sensitive on, we add this. This is gonna play that sequence for us in loop. And then I load my sequence that I made, which is called top level 1. Okay, so now it's going to be loaded, and then I need a loop for all of this. So I can just drag this line and or maybe this line, both of them work. Return value, I'm going to drag it, search for player play loop. Yes, play looping. I'm going to add this. Now everything is ready. Okay, so let me just compile once. Oh, we got an error. I think we need to add another node instead of this get player controller, a similar one. Let me just search for it again, get player controller. We need the one with the index. Okay, so we need this one, player index. I'm going to delete the previous one, link this one as the target. Now compile again, everything's all right, save, go back and play. Go to the game mode, see, seems okay. Let's just go back to the menu and test that out there. So I'm gonna save everything here. I'm gonna go back to my content browser, open up the menu level, okay, and then I'm gonna go to the game mode, test out my other buttons first. Okay, so everything seems to be working. Then click on this play button and my sequence is being played nicely. Okay, so it's working. So the client gets to see this before they jump into the scene. And if you remember, in the first session I showed you a couple of samples, and in one of them we had this furniture, we had this video, looping video of this furniture which was being played, and this is kind of like that. With this animation the client could get an overall feel of the whole project. Okay, so that's done. Let's just do something else now. If you had paid attention, we had this really small delay when we were going into the standalone game mode, when things were kind of like half loaded. Some of the assets were not loaded completely. So we need to take care of that problem. Let me just show you. So if you click on play now, you can see that it takes a couple of seconds for everything to be ready. See? Not everything is loaded at the start. So next I'm going to show you a solution to prevent this. Okay, so for the solution to work, we need to create a new widget. Alright, so let me just open up my content browser, create a new widget, a user widget called loading, for example. Let me just type it in, loading. Okay, loading. And we open up this widget. I'm gonna add the canvas here. I'm gonna choose a size for it, full HD, and then let me just resize it there. And then I'm going to add a loading icon to this, but before that let me just add the border first. So we add the border. Let me just drag this to the whole frame. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose a color for it, black is nice, and then go to primitive and use circular throbber. Use one of these. So I'm gonna add one of these, which is gonna be this icon. I'm gonna show you in a second, this icon. See, I just made it bigger. I'm gonna put it to the bottom right corner. So this is a loading animation for us. I'm gonna add a text too, which says loading. I'm gonna put it beside this loading animation. I'm gonna call it loading. Okay, let me just move it down here. And now my widget is ready. I can compile and save and go back. Okay, so now I need to tell Unreal when somebody clicks on this icon, they should be taken to the loading widget first for a couple of seconds, and then take them to the camera level. So let's do that. Let's go to the graph. Let me just move this level, open level node to the right so that we have some space. Okay, now we need to add oh, let me just delete this comment first. Now we need to add the create widget node. Okay, I'm gonna load the loading widget, the one that I just made, and I'm gonna link it to the unclicked event. And then we need another node called add to viewport, which you should remember. Add to viewport. Let me just do it again. Add to viewport, this one. Okay, and now we need a delay node, for example a 2-second delay. So I'm going to search for delay. I'm going to add a delay node, this one. Let's just make it 2 seconds. Okay, and then after 2 seconds take me to my camera level. So first we should get our loading widget for 2 seconds, and then we are taken to our camera level. Let's compile and save, and we can test it out. I'm gonna click on this play button. We're gonna test this and see if everything is working nicely, and after that maybe we can end this session as well. So I'm gonna click on this play button. We get the loading widget. Okay, we need to fix the right side. We have a problem here, and then we are taken into our camera level with the sequence working. So let's just fix the loading widget. I think I need to anchor the whole thing and then anchor this button to the right bottom corner, and then this text also to the same place. Let's compile and save, go back and test it again. Let's see what happens this time. So alright, let's see what we get. Let's click on the play button. Okay, I think my screen resolution is 4K, and that is why I have the problem. Let's just go back and check it again. So I'm gonna play this again. This time I'm gonna go to my option and then choose another resolution, a smaller resolution, and test it out again. So let's just do that. Go to option and full HD. Let's go back and click on the play button. So the problem seems to be with the loading widget itself, not the size. Let's just go ahead and fix that. So let me just go to the loading widget, double click on it. Oh, okay, so the size of the frame is a little too big. Let me just resize it and put these loading animation and text inside. Okay, let's just make sure the size is the correct one, full HD. Compile and save. Let's go back and test it out again. This time it should be working. So I click on the play button again. This time it's working nicely. It's where it's supposed to be. And after 2 seconds, we are taken inside this camera level, and the camera is moving very nicely. Everything is working how it should be. And let's just enjoy this sequence for a couple of seconds. Okay. So that's all for this session, and we are done creating this sequence. Let me just tell you something really quickly. If you wanted this animation, the camera movement, to be played from the start, instead of after clicking on this play button, you can take that blueprint that we just made and put it here inside. Go to open level blueprint and put it here, and if you do that, when somebody opens up the executable file, they will see the animation first. And that is a choice that I'm going to leave up to you. If you wanted to do that, make sure to test it out first. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.